There we go.
Good job.
All right, exit that.
This thing away from me. Can't move tonight.
Why does it say it's private? Why? Why do you say? Why is this?
Come on, Coach.
Who knows?
I got an 8 already.
You got what?
I rolled an 8 already.
I didn't see it.
I told you.
Oh, I'm just ready now.
Fine, you get a 9 then, sucker.
5. Yeah. So how does that work there, Captain? Well, do you want to? We're gonna have to re-roll again. Hold on, because I think we should step through the whole thing.
So we're waiting on this.
Yeah.
I'm waiting that for Rorschach to let me know if that worked.
Rorschach. The Rorschach.
Waiting on the damn falcon. Turkey, green turkey. Why the hell did you bring all this weather down with you?
I've been staying in front of it the whole weekend
Rain?
because we went to South Dakota, Fargo, back to South Dakota, down to here. I gotta try and get home tomorrow.
Cool.
That's your map setup?
No.
Oh.
We're waiting for you to tell us and walk us through the
'Kay.
rules, and we're gonna
Roll. Who won initiative?
We're gonna roll it, so I'll make sure you win.
Because it's streaming right now. So.
All right.
8. Sucker.
You want to tell them what we're doing, or
Yes. Okay. So.
introduce what we're doing.
Sure.
I mean, let's walk through this.
Okay,
It's your
so
idea.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the 350-point gameplay Alpha Strike tournament rules. So what we have here is we have Andrew. Let me actually get onto my live stream here. Okay, there's Andrew. Yay, in all of his glory. Woohoo. And over here we have Matthew. Weehee.
I can do a Wnrp production.
They can't hear you, they can only hear me. So you'll notice those guys. You will notice those guys from the Wolfnut Radio podcast. If you don't recognize my voice, I'm Aaron the Coach Kroll. So what we have set up here is Matt rolled initiative. What we have here is each team or each person. Boy, I have to mute that. Okay. So each player has devised a set of sort of a unit of mechs, infantry, vehicles, VTOLs.
Do you want us to set out a whole 350?
No, I don't want you to.
Okay.
So, and then basically what it is that is your army to take to a tournament. Of that army, each scenario, which is one of 6, requires 200 points of your 350-point army. Each scenario is different, requires a different aspect of speed, power, tactics, all kinds of things. Each scenario is set up as neither attacker nor defender. You're both. You're both attacking, you're both defending an object or objectives. So, in this, for instance, we are playing domination. When you're setting up the 350-point gameplay tournament, each side will choose 200 points of their 350 points. That is the 200 points that they will play with each match. Each round of every tournament will consist of a different objective scenario base, which you are allowed to change your unit as long as it equals up to 200 points. You don't have to play with the same 200 points. You can draw from your extra 150 to change up your unit. In this unit, we are playing domination, but we'll get back to that as soon as we figure out or go through the steps of setting up the match. So, Matthew Bloodbath Barons has 1 initiative on the initial roll. This means that this is setting up terrain phase. So what happens is we have 1 large base terrain, 1 medium terrain, 2 smalls, a trees, and a lake. What will happen is Matt can choose 1 piece of terrain and he sets it anywhere on the board. After that, Andrew will follow up and set another piece of terrain. It can be on top, it can be next to, but all terrain must be at least 1.5 inches away from another piece of terrain unless it is on top of that terrain. So Matt, you get to choose where your first setup's going to be. Aw. The infamous Ilkan Roshak says you look kind of skinny.
Thank you.
It does take off apparently 10 pounds on a webcam. So that is his placement. Andrew followed up with putting trees on top of the large base. Make sure it's 1.5 inches in between, please. The 1.5 inches is so that a unit can go through.
Choke point.
It can also be used as a choke point.
Don't put your extra big shit in there.
Yes, extra large miniatures will have to be replaced with a proxy or something like that.
You get all those. Laker.
The lake. 1.5 inches, please. I will be your resident judge for this evening. Live chat is unavailable. Why is live chat unavailable? That's dumb.
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Choose a different
I'll
app?
try to figure it out. Pretty much.
That's it, right?
It's a good thing I have live chat right here. Okay, so now that all terrain is placed, we will place the objective markers. So in the game of domination, this is a game of, they're not going to be able to read that. This is a game of yes, I need 18 and 21. So each of these is pretty much right on the damn tree.
Right here. It's right here.
Right there? Okay. So these are all points,
How far?
8 and 8. And with coordinated help of everyone, it's a pretty simple setup. So as you can see, these are indicated takeable objectives. In the game of domination, there are 5 objectives. If any unit from one pertaining team is on a spot, could be half on, doesn't matter. In the end phase, if no other opposing unit is on this base, they get to claim that spot as theirs. Andrew will be the white team, Matt can be the black team. They mark that. Now, say for instance, one of Andrew's guys was on here as well. In the end phase, that is a contested spot. But in this instant, say Andrew got that one, we mark in the end phase as his point. Now, the objective of the game is once you capture 4 points, you automatically win the game. Each game takes 1 hour and 15 minutes. This is a timed event. So speed can be the key, or firepower can be the key. There are multiple ways of judging. If you get 4 points, you win the game automatically. If the game goes to time, any player who has the most points wins the game. If you have equal points, the player with the most damage done to the opposing side wins the game. We are using crippling damage in the Alpha Strike rulebook. So now that the game board is mapped, we start the timer, and players roll initiative.
Are you sure the timer hasn't started already?
No, I am allowing in each tournament game there will be a 5-minute terrain setup, 5-minute objective setup, and then the game starts.
How much time for picking your army?
Let me rephrase that. There's 5 minutes to pick your army. There's 5 minutes to set up terrain and objective points. So each round will have 10 minutes before they start to get the game board set up. After that, the timer starts.
The board is 36.
The board is 36 by 42.
What did you do? What did you... Oh! I think I won.
Oh, shit.
That was funny.
And the timer has started. Good luck, gentlemen. Yes, always have a handshake at the beginning of each game to show good gamesmanship.
2 inches or on the edge?
We are going to have
2 inches or on the edge?
2 inches from the home edge.
Okay.
Now that we have that discussed, I will go down Matt's 250-point list that he has selected for the domination game today. Matt, who is on your right-hand side of your wasn't me. Anyway, so Matt is playing a Kingfisher H with a skill of 3 at 62 points. A Crossbow E with a skill point of 3 comes up to 56 points. A Battle Cobra A with a skill point of 3 comes out to 40 points. Along with that, he is running 3 Gnome Battle Armor. I'm assuming all skill 4 with a point value of 14 each. And that is his 250-point army. I will see if I can't try to get that text up on the side. Yes. 200-point army, no 250. 350 is the total. Andrew, on the left side of your screen, is running a Vulture Mark IV D, skill value of 4, 57 points. A Goshawk 2, skill point of 3 with 47 points. A Marksman MBT M1, skill of 4, 40 points. Hephaestus, Scout Tank D, skill value 4, 30 points. Black Wolf, Heavy Flamer Infantry, or Battle Armor, skill point of 4, I'm assuming, at 14 points. And Cage Light Battle Armor Dest, skill point of 4, 12 points for his 200-point army.
Mine is modeled after the Dark Ages Gamma Regiment.
Oh, so Andrew has a little history behind his. His is fashioned after the Gamma Regiment of Wolf's Dragoons.
Gamma Regiment from the Hero Clicks.
Of the Hero Clicks box set. Very interesting.
I have the only standard engine Omnimex.
Matt is rocking the standard engine Omnimex. Only 3 are known to exist. Oh, there's 4, sorry. But he has 3 of them.
The only one missing is...
I'm assuming I did not put this link. Okay, so it's working now. Got the game working.
Ready?
Wow, I should really not throw these dice anymore.
Hey, get some new dice.
Jesus.
Sorry, son. This is easy when I'm working.
So as you can see, they are going, obviously the easiest way to go is go up the first 2 objective points on your side of the map edge. Is this the end phase?
Oh, we haven't shot yet.
Oh, they have not shot yet. Okay. As you can tell, they do have to shoot first in order to get to the end phase. The end phase is after everyone is done moving, everyone is done shooting, all physical attacks have taken place. That is when the end phase happens, and everything happens in the end phase in initiative order.
Medium.
This is long.
So, as you can see,
Excuse me.
Matt has taken his map edge points. He has a gnome and a kingfisher on 1 point, and his battle cobra and another gnome on 1 point. Andrew has his goshawk alone on one of the points, where his vulture and looks like the nighthawk.
Night Black Wolf.
The black wolf, sorry, the black wolf battle armor on that as well. So after they get done shooting, points will be awarded to each one. Ooh, let's see if I can get a little points update here. I bet I can.
So should I mark those elementals if they're going to stand still? Because they're basically coming on.
If they're being dismounted, they're standing still no matter what. They have no movement.
So just give them a 6.
Yeah.
So they represent being drowned. These are still attached. Shall we shoot some shit? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6,
What are you shooting at?
7. We'll shoot this guy over there.
Okay.
Medium range. 3.
He's a skill 3.
All these are skill 3 except for the elemental. The gnomes are not skilled, they're skill 4.
Okay.
So 3, 4, 5 for range, 6, 7 for your movement, and then 8 for partial cover. 8. Oh, good lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 total.
For each one of them, you need to roll 1d6.
Okay. 1d6. First one, 6.
6 hits the battle armor.
Next one, 6.
It's the battle armor.
3. Mark.
Okay, so it looks like the black wolf is actually on, or is attached to the vulture, and has taken 2 points of damage, as resulting to
3.
basically riding on it and acting like a point of armor. So
That's it.
I believe this weapon's fire came from the kingfisher to
Black
the vulture.
Wolf battle armor is dead.
The black wolf battle armor is no more.
Crossbow. Fire at the same. Should be the same range. 3. 4, 5,
And I will
6,
update the
7.
points once we actually enter the end phase. Ooh, I could do battle value points too.
Nope.
Let's do that.
2 7s. He only does 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3,
What did you guys eat?
4 is it? 2 missed. Cobra. Vixen? Since I can't see that good.
Well, looks like Cobra is trying to shoot at the
Just that.
Goshawk.
Medium range. Okay.
Medium range.
I shoot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ouch.
What do you mean out? You just rolled 6 8s.
I didn't roll any 9. Miss. All misses. See? Ouch.
He'll shoot there. Skill 4, 6, 7, 8. He is rolling 6 dice, so I have 1 more to throw here.
We'll see if the gnome is taking damage.
What did I say? 8s. 1. 2.
2 hits?
Both to the mech.
Okay. 2 hits, both of them back.
2 shots from the
Vulture.
Vulture to the crossbow, who is out in the middle.
4, 6, 8, 9, 10s.
Looks like the
10s with the trees.
crossbow
From the tank.
is
Trees.
the one to be going. So let's see if we can add some
Or they
little
go.
extra,
To the battle hog.
little extra flavor here,
Battle Crover or the Crover? Okay.
so everyone can tell
Missed it.
who is who.
Goshawk has 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nothing. Okay, that's end phase.
Okay, so we have come to the first end phase. Looks like some shots been taken. So what happens here in the end phase? Matthew has units on this, scores a point there. Has units on here, scores a point there. Andrew has a mech on there, that scores a point, and has a mech here. So the totals are 2-2. Once again, players score points. For each end phase, they have a mech on the
Woo!
5 spots in the middle of the
damn it.
map.
You got
So what that indicates is that they have secured that location now. Their job is to take over 4 locations, which means they're going to have to get into the nitty-gritty. I will update the points here. Let's see. Andrew has 2 points so far.
Now you can sprint with 1.5.
2
You
points.
can, yeah, you can basically, if you're 8, you can move 12, but you can't shoot.
2 points. But Matthew has killed 14 points, I believe, was the Black Wolf. The Black Wolf did go down in the first volley, so that should be PV killed, not BB. I'm sorry. PV killed. Once again, we are playing with crippling damage. Crippling damage, according to the book, as soon as I find it. You have 58 minutes left in the round. let's get the old rule book out and find crippling damage. If you guys are wondering, all updated rules.
All your armor is gone, half your structure you need to move towards your opponent.
No kidding.
Half your structure.
Oh, we're gonna do that now. Sweet.
Give me a second here. There it is. On page 127 for everyone following at home in the Battletech Alpha Strike Commanders edition. Crippling damage is a unit has no armor remaining and has been reduced to half its starting structure value, rounded up. If the unit possesses only 1 point of structure to begin with, it begins retreating as soon as it loses all of its armor. Now, in the 350 tournament rules, there is no forced withdrawal, so retreating, you do not have to retreat. Another way a unit is crippled is a unit has been reduced to damage value of 0 for all medium and long range attacks. This condition does not apply if the unit began the scenario with a damage value of 0. So, if your units have taken enough weapon hits to reduce their medium and long range values to 0, they are considered crippled. Or the unit has been immobilized through damage, critical, and or motive hit effects. So if a unit has become immobilized, has 0 medium and long range attacks, or has half of its structure value remaining, rounded up, that is when you can score a half points on a unit. Scoring in the tournament structure goes, you get a point for the win if you have achieved your objective. You get a point, and then, so there is the win-loss column, and there is the PV column. PV column is used for structuring Swiss events, or rounds after so many. There's a Swiss event. Or it's also used to determine tiebreakers. So let's get back into the action. I saw Matt gave a fist pump here. Looks like his unit made it just on the center objective. So that will be a big capture for Matthew. Or Matt, because it's just weird calling you Matthew. Looks like he's going to either try to download. Looks like they're downloading the gnomes. Were the gnomes attached to the mechs? Okay, they were. So those two gnomes on the right-hand side of your screen, I believe, if I'm looking at, yep, right-hand side of your screen, will basically be doing they'll be just sitting on their objectives, which are the white dots. Let's see if I can't move the camera a little closer. It's going to be difficult, but
You gonna move or
Right? How long does it take to turn a? How long does it take to contest and turn a point? 2 turns?
No, if someone had even.
as long as you're alone.
You're the alone on the thing,
So it's a
that's
good
it.
question. If to contest a point, all you have to be is have your unit on the point with no other enemy unit on the point. It does not take a turn to turn it to neutral and then turn it to yourself. Let's see, Andrew, working from the top of your screen down on the left-hand side, up there by the hill is a Vulture Mark IV. It is a, moving down to the big tank, it's a Marksman MBT. And then on the lower left-hand point is a Goshawk 2. And then right next to the in the center screen is a Hephaestus scout tank that is carrying cage light battle armor. Now you can notice the Gazok moved right next to Matt's Battle Cobra, and then working up the right-hand side of your screen from the bottom up on the lower right hand and the upper right-hand point, there are gnome battle armors. In the middle of your screen, next to the trees in the middle, that is a crossbow with a point of battle armor on that behind the tree on that domination objective point. And then way up there in the middle, behind the top set of terrain, is Matt's Kingfisher. I will try to see if I can get some text boxes to... Uh-oh. We're losing. Looks like we're having a little bit of issue with the HD, but it should come back. Hopefully.
Oh, hell.
I'm not done yet.
What does he have for armor structure?
Armor structure on that. It's 3-2.
They are measuring. I feel like I got a back. Oh boy.
Short leash there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good now.
You want to shoot or do you want me to?
I can go.
Sorry for the tech. Well, it looks like.
We also have a natural 12.
Woo! Sure do.
Uh-oh, nat 12.
And you also have another one. We're going internal.
That damn thing. Alright, here. We'll shoot the same way.
There we go.
One, two, 5, 6.
There, that's better. I keep forgetting, everyone, that sometimes I am turning my mic off.
3, 4, 5. 7.
Let's see if this will do better. Vulture.
Natural 12.
Oop, there's a natural 12 in there.
Dragoons. Oh, yeah. 1.
Don't worry
Let's
about
see
it.
if this will work a little
Don't
better.
worry about it.
He's toast.
And it looks like the vulture is down.
Took 4 hits.
Took a bunch of hits.
Blow away. Come on. Oh, I got it.
But he still gets to shoot. Here we go. Let's see if we can't give the folks at home a goss.
Let's shoot my this guy.
2.
Four.
Let's see how well this shows up.
Shoot 4.
Might be able to do a little better job at giving everyone an idea of what is on the screen.
Anything for hover tank?
Don't know how many of these I get to.
1, 2, 2. Hover tank.
Motive check.
Wait, is it your motive check or mine?
Mine. It used to be an 8. Hover tanks +2. This will be on.
Just to let you know, everybody, we do use the motive checks, which is a big deal in this game.
So 4.
Hephaestus.
1 extra for no. Shoot here.
That is probably not how you spell Hephaestus, but we're going to make it work.
7s. How many fucking dice? 4. Short range. No. Car 5. Cock die. I wish I could have kept it. Lost it. What was it? 7s? Yeah. 1, 2, 2. Hover tank.
You
Kingfisher.
15?
And
There we go. Almost as many as I rolled this weekend when I hit with a Hag 40 and 5 streak 6. Jeez.
medium.
Let's change that to white.
These gnomes will shoot medium range for only 2 with this guy.
So for those at home,
Tree medium range, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s. Yeah. I know.
he's got 10s to hit from the gnome battle armor, which is right next to the crossbow to the Hephaestus. It's a whiff!
I can't see this far.
All right, how do we like that? That looks much better. I like that. Now, I didn't label the battle armor, but there is... Matt has a gnome battle armor on each of the points on the right-hand side and one in the center. But Andrew has been able to move the Hephaestus all the way to the lower right to contest Matt's point.
4, 6, 8.
Looks like the vulture. Vulture is going to be shooting at the Kingfisher.
Point number 3.
Oh, he's shooting at the gnome
Stage 4 to kill.
battle armor. It looks.
1.
He got 1 point.
No, I was shooting at the crossbow.
Oh, sorry.
Shooting at the crossbow.
1 on the crossbow.
Should have lied.
Make another search.
So, let me do my little field reporting here. Looks like the vulture's down. Black wolf is down. Got 8s from here to there. Everything else is pretty good except for the Festus.
12.
Ooh, there's a natural 12.
Crypto. Oh, is it on the
Crossbow looks hurt.
So the kingfisher.
Ooh,
So 2 to the kingfisher.
2.
2 to the kingfisher from the goshawk.
Please no headshot.
Ooh.
Eight.
No, wait, that can't be. Did you fire the MBT?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So that was the marksman MBT to the kingfisher. That's what that was.
A token.
Scratched some paint on the kingfisher, but he did lose a weapon hit.
Tokens.
Now, where do we get those beautiful tokens from, Matt?
4, 6. Litco.
We get them from Litco.
Com.
Litco.com has some really good
What'd you say? 3 to the battlehawk.
critical hit tokens that come in very, very handy on the battlefield. Looks like we're getting a little battle armor on battle armor action.
5 for the battle armor. So 5s.
5s to hit.
Got 2.
Looks like he's
Two.
got 2.
All the armor's gone.
And I have 2 coming from the Hephaestus. Same thing. 5s.
Yep.
2 more.
That's it.
Looks like Andrew successfully took out the battle gnome armor, or gnome battle armor that was on the lower right hand point.
Uh-oh.
So for those checking at home, looks like they will both pick up a point, but Matt will lose a point.
Vulture's dead. He fired. They fired. Yeah.
Okay. So, in the end phase, we go through and we check who's got points and who doesn't have points. Andrew, being the black team,
We got a contest.
took that point over because he is the only one on that point. Matt picked up this point here. Because we can't see that because of the tree, I'll just take the tree off. So, Andrew picked up a point. Matt lost or kept the same amount of points. So, this gets very interesting. Although Andrew did lose a vulture in the same round. So, we roll for initiative. And I will get your points updated.
5.
10.
How many points was that bad boy? 57 points. Now remember, for those of you watching at home, it does not matter how many you kill, as long as you have more points at the end of the round, or you get 4 objective points. And 39 minutes left in the round. So all Andrew has to do is take over 1 more point, but that will be difficult now that he is down 80 tonner? 65.
60.
60. But there is a challenger or a marksman MBT sitting there in the back, pretty much announcing to anyone, I dare you to take my 2 points. Now, let's go with our mid-game analysis of Andrew's list. He does have a Goshawk. It does move 14J, has a skill of 3, has a short damage.
But it's skill 4.
It's a good thing I came over.
Stop that.
The Goshawk 2 Also has a short range damage of 3, medium range damage of 2, long range damage of 2, with 5 armor and 2 structure. Has case with ECM. A marksman MBT M1 moves at 6 track and has a 662 damage output
-2.
with what looks like 2, 4, 6, 7 armor and 5 structure. SRM 11 with a turret of 662. His Hephaestus scout tank moves at 16 hover. It originally had a 220 damage output, armor 3, structure of 2.
Come on, dude.
Shush.
Cage light battle armor has 6J with a 200, 1 armor, 2 structure. That is what he has left.
So it's as soon as I score 4, I win.
Let me check the rule book. Oh, sorry. During the end phase. So the win conditions for the game of domination. During the end phase, if a player controls 4 objective areas, that player wins the game. The game goes to time. The player with the most turn counters wins the game, which are those indications on each spot. That player wins. If the game goes to time, both players have control of equal amount of objective areas. The player with the highest points destroyed score wins the game. If both players have the same points destroyed score, follow tiebreaker rules in the tiebreaker section of the rulebook, which goes down another rabbit hole of all kinds of stuff, but it is very rare that we have to go all the way to the tiebreaker section. So it looks like... Now remember that Hephaestus can move 16 hover. And he is going to go...
Not done yet there, Captain.
Oh, he's bringing along the Cage battle armor.
Yeah, it's got a touch.
As you can see, Andrew is trying to get his Cage light battle armor onto the objective point.
It's tricky. Are you set now? Set.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your 5 minutes to move a mech again.
Oh my god. How much time's left in the game? $12 there.
Do you see this having to get to your hex?
The
So that
corner?
means that corner can get to there. I don't know.
God. You see the
Little judge rule, I'll hold it
here?
from front to front.
Does it make it?
Judge?
It's pretty fucking close. That's why I'm calling it into question.
That's good. That's what
Oh my
judges are
God,
for.
Let the judge do it then.
Okay.
Is that okay? Test?
Dude, you're gonna take 9 hours to move.
Fine, call me for slow play.
I kinda am.
Four.
All right,
Two over
I'm
here.
going to judge this.
Because now, I didn't even care where the fuck I turned him, so... Shoot him.
Move him back.
Do what you want. No, he can. All he has to do is choose facing from where he's at right there. That's what he's after.
Okay. Choose facing.
This is gonna be fun. This will be the experience that every judge has. We should get pissed.
It's what every judge deals with anyway. I've done worse than this. Try.
You want me to move this guy?
It's your chance.
I gotta move things around here. Let's see, Gozak is up here. Cage battle armor's pronounced Kage.
Yeah,
Sure, whatever.
Draconis, isn't it?
No humming on the live stream.
How fast this will shoot at the gnome.
Oh, yep. Thanks, Luke. Totally had it on mute.
9s to the crossbow.
Yes.
6 dice. I got 5 here.
It's like some dice are going into the crossbow.
3.
I'm trying not to drink on the stream, so I don't get the you don't get the ice thing.
4 to the crossbow.
But then I forget to unmute it.
Crit.
There we go. See how easy is that? That I just unmute after drinking.
Inspired.
Pretty easy.
Those two fire. I have the bestest.
Looks like some.
No, keep my first.
All right, now it's Matt's turn to deal out the damage. He's picking up the handful of dice. Avant-garde. WNRP is only a visual podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Dirks and Drew Bethards have joined the chat. Our usual tag-alongs / guest hosts on the Wolfnet Radio podcast show that we try to do once a month. We do have a new recording date set for, I think, Monday night. So you guys should be getting a new episode soon. I don't know if we have our guest lined up. No guest, or at least not the guest that we were thinking of. So not saying we won't. 2, 3.
You only need
Hey, got it. The Hephaestus has fallen. So, looks like... Excuse me.
7 for the VA, 8 for the tree, 9 for stealth.
Oh, stealth. Oh, I gotta stop bumping the table.
Crossbow shoot at the
Goshawk.
5.
Jason Krish says something satisfying about rolling that many dice. Agreed, Jason.
4, 5.
In the 350 tournament gameplay, it is always nice that I found out when creating your total unit is you usually kind of want to break it down to a couple of different things. You want some hammers, some fast movers. This is where infantry and hover tanks come in big time because, as you can see, some of these objectives you got to race to go get, and it's nice to have a nice. Matt's up on points because there's hammers in the game. Andrew is currently up on objective points because he has some lighter, faster units in the game. So it all depends. That's the beauty of the 350 makeup, is that you can really have all kinds of stuff. There's an unlimited number of units that you can field and different tactics you can take. There's no one right way to do it. So I can see we're having some internet issues slightly.
5, 6, and
I'll try to work through them as best as we can. Hopefully one of these days we're going to be able to get a little better intranet in here. We're going to keep doing things like this. For those of you watching and you don't have a clue what the 350 game tournament format is, you can join the Wolfnet Radio podcast, or you can go to wolfsdragoons.com. We have a PDF that pretty much explains it all. We're in the playtesting stages right now. It's just kind of a nice little thing that we've devised and came up with that you can quick get a game in right away or have a full tournament as well. Because Battletech is kind of missing a competitive tournament format. And hopefully we're whittling this down and finding new kinks in the game every time we play it, but we're working them out. So if you read it, play it a couple times, please join the Wolfnet Radio Facebook group and let us know what you found out. Like I said, all information is good information for us. So it
I'm
looks
sorry,
like
I was just like,
the amount of dice that you're rolling, there's 0 chances for me to win.
it looks like
The only
one
way
damage
that I
went
could win
through.
it is to sneak, and that's why I got bitchy. So
Looks like what happened here?
cheers, fuckface.
I don't know why we're having cheers.
we're making amends.
Burying the hatchet.
Oh, yay! The good old
Tell
fashioned
us wrong.
BattleTech burying the hatchet, man.
Now,
Burying the hatchet,
does this,
man.
does this stay his point?
Yes,
Does this change?
That will change.
that will change to. So in the end phase,
You and Steven again.
No, you're up.
Matt's point
Oh, yeah.
stays Matt's point.
You still
There,
got
there. So it's 2-3.
You kept everything goes to you.
There is 23 minutes left in the round.
Oh, what'd you roll?
Beat 5.
Same?
Beat that.
11!
12.
Ah!
He tried really hard. There was an 11 and then a 12 for initiative this turn. Let's see what else is going over
You
here.
have 4 units. I have 2, so move 2.
Put these guys back in the box. I got 4 today. I lost another. What number one was it? 2?
God, this is not going to go. This isn't going well. I have 87 points. You're talking how many did I lose?
Okay, so we got the points updated. As you can see, the PV killed is in one direction, but again, the PV killed does not matter in this tournament. It matters at who controls more points at the end of the game. That is the only one that matters. There are multiple strategies. Gather them quick, get them at the end, kill your opponent before they can, outlast your opponent, just overwhelm them. There are a lot of different variations you can have in winning this game. Like I said, there's 21 minutes left. Andrew has 1 initiative. He has a giant tank in the backfield.
Move 3.
You have the battle cover.
I think he's just gonna sit.
Personally, I wouldn't sit him. Now, you know he can jump 14. So that's the only thing you have to be aware of as far as he goes. I would maneuver him into a position, either go this way or go back a little bit to either draw me that way. But you take this guy out, you win. There's no fucking way I can win with a 6 tank. That's your objective at this point, is to kill that guy.
Okay, for one, who's Matt Campbell? Drew wants to know when we're going to have the trial of possession over Matt Campbell. Oh, Matt Campbell. It's an Iowa State joke. Never mind. Wow.
That was like last week. Remember?
I didn't get it at the time, and now I get it. As you can tell, I still didn't get it, but he's not going anywhere. He's going to stay at Iowa State because that's where he belongs.
Fine, I'll shoot
So, I mean, really what I would do,
I'll shoot you through trees.
I would do this.
Yeah, basically just get TMM.
Right, you get your TMM, and then even if I came over to contest, I have to land in front of you.
Yeah.
He should have shots.
Because I wouldn't.
You would end him.
I wouldn't move either way because I've got 3 positions to maintain. As long as I stay a higher point value, as long as I keep more positions, it should be fine.
Well, you have the game won. Now it's just time. It's just time.
So what makes you think he's got the game won?
His objective at this point is to take out the Goshawk.
Right. So
As soon as that's done, it's over.
His tanks.
sorry, I had to give some positive reinforcement there for a little bit. Now that's an interesting move.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, I have to update things.
Is that short range though? So you can fucking
All right.
for 4.
That is. This is, yes. 6 both ways. 4 and 6. You can still adjust. You're still moving.
I guess we'll just stand there and
This
fucking
is
take it. Huh?
Otherwise,
done.
back up a little bit. Push that way.
The objective though is just
There. There we go. Got the major players. Now, for those at home, there is still a gnome battle armor on the upper right-hand position points, so that
I
could
got less units.
that could hurt a little bit.
Your fast mechs are scary.
We got lots of dice being rolled. Looks like the marksman is shooting at the crossbow, I believe.
Oh god.
Holy shit.
Oh my. It looks like he took 5 points of damage to the crossbow.
Well, just shoot him now. Where'd your cap go? He's right at your toe. Right in front of your toe.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the story of this round is don't get in front of a marksman.
You're shooting here. That's the only reason why I said shoot him, right?
Might as well.
I also, because my Goshawk, I think I'm going to shoot the.
Now, for you, those of you who are used to BattleTech, this is Alpha Strike. You can change your targets anytime you want to. And yes, I do refuse your batch all.
That was lucky as hell. That was 8.
3, 4, 5, 6.
It's.
You've rolled that many 8s?
I rolled 5 out of 6 dice. I rolled 5.
That's impressive.
That's a pretty good roll.
That's one of those where you needed that roll, and you got that roll.
1. You have 6s. 2, 3. 3.
3 over to the marksman, which is scratching some paint.
So wait until you play.
I'm trying.
Max runs 2 Manticores, 2 Plainsmen.
What I'm gonna do
It's just that they're hard as hell to hit, and they
Max?
just absorb all kinds of damage.
with Max, I'm just not gonna move forever. I'm gonna get like disqualified for.
It looks like the marksman
I
MBT
got 3 to the Kingfisher.
at 40 points, throwing
5,
6
6.
sets of dice at range or medium range. That's a pretty good bargain.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. It's a skill 4, and I'm
2.
pretty sure if you up that to a 3, it's gonna go up in points. But
that's the first time.
that might be a piece to look at in the future.
What's that?
What
The
Max-
marksman MBT.
If I ever play with Max, I'm just gonna stick. I'm just kidding.
So a point was brought up that you don't need to have mechs in
Battle Cobra's
your.
at 2, so minus 4 inches of move.
You do not need to have mechs in your 350 list to compete in this tournament. You can have an entire list of tanks if you want to. Tanks, battle armor, and hovercraft.
Yeah.
So it's very possible. You do not need to have mechs in this game. Infantry, no set vehicles are required in this game. It is helpful to have some sort of infantry in the bunker buster or the rampage scenario.
One on the Goshawk?
No.
So
0.
for those of you who are super lovers of the tanks and hovercraft and VTOLs and stuff like that, you can easily just make a whole list of that and compete. 15 minutes left in the round.
Gotta win initiative.
Just told by Andrew that he has to win initiative this turn.
1.
And I'm going to say I agree with him.
3. This. 4.
That is all the armor.
All the armor has been stripped of the marksman.
Shooting.
It looks like it's the end phase.
That got evened out.
I do not believe that any points have changed other than the crossbow is gone, which was worth 56 points.
Oh, middle of the road.
Andrew.
Beat you with your dragoon dice. 9.
He did not win initiative.
Is that Jake?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got that right. Okay, points are updated. There are 13 minutes, 30 seconds left in the round. All right, we're back. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left in the round. Sorry, I was making another drink because I am the bartender, I guess.
Thanks, buddy.
Fist pump. No problem. All right, let's see. Challenger moved a little bit. Battle Cobra moved a lot.
Oh, Goshawk.
Goshawk moved a lot. And old Kingfisher looks like he's coming in. Well, the PV kill has narrowed slightly, and this is one thing. If you are going to bring, like Matt had a solid strategy, he brought 3, like just knockout killers. The problem is they're all worth quite a bit of points. So when you kill one,
4, 6,
you know that's a big
8, 9.
That's a big swing.
9's from here to there.
Now again,
I got 6 dice. I got 5 here.
PV does not mean anything unless you are,
Get that compelling piece of shit.
you know, if you're tied on points, which
4.
really you should never be tied.
Did you get 4 already?
5.
On the
5
battle
more
cover?
dice on. They're 9s. That's
On the battle
5.
Good
Battle
Lord.
Partial cover?
4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Just did 5.
Just did 5.
You're bitch.
7, 8, 9. He rolled 5 9s.
That's an extra one than you needed.
That is
Fuck you, really?
pretty crazy.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I
Oh, I only
believe
get to shoot once.
we just
He
saw
can't
the
shoot.
king or the battle cobra go down.
Nice shooting.
Thank you, sir.
That
It's still a big ass.
I mean, not-
picture on the table yet.
I don't even know how you hide 2 horseshoes up there, but you pulled out 2 of them.
I did.
So
Well, we'll shoot 4 at you here.
this could be interesting. This can be
No, we'll shoot, since he's dead, we'll shoot 6.
because according to time, there's going to be one more turn.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's a lot of dice. 8s to hit.
1. Well, that sucks. 1.
My suggestion is to start stealing Andrew's dice.
They were cold earlier.
Yet they were very cold. I agree.
They started off.
They were very cold.
Now it's
Yes,
the other way
it
around.
did very much so.
1 point on the old Goshawk. Kingfisher's coming in
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not done throwing dice
to
yet.
clean up.
Hey, this is supposed to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8s again. This is where you end him.
Back die.
Roll that red. Oh, you got a red one there too. So, and I've wanted to ask this earlier, but when you have cock
Yes.
die, is there anything in the rules where it says you have to roll both
No.
again, or is it just the die?
It is. So this is a good question. Andrew brought it up.
3.
With a cock dice, he asked, is there a rule where you are supposed to pick up both the sets of dice and re-roll them, or just the one that is cocked? In my
That's it.
numerous breadth of gaming, you just re-roll the cock
Hey,
dice.
coach,
Yes.
official,
Okay. So
give me my points.
end of phase. Andrew has taken this point. Whatever, doesn't matter. Just indicating that. Okay. So we have a game on our hands, guys. There is 5 minutes left in the round. This will, well, I'm not going to say this will be the last round, but
Oh.
Gotcha.
it will be very close. Now, just for those watching at home, there is still a gnome battle armor on the upper right hand. I can just add that in there. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. So let's update the points here. Matt is down 0.2. Andrew has gained a point. Back to 3.
Put that Mac back.
Why?
And has increased.
Can can you get there?
No, I can barely get there. No, I can't.
Oop.
I wish we could stop the timer.
I did.
I'd like to talk about this.
I did stop the timer.
So, in this situation, right, we're looking at last round. I'm just talking my way through this because this will happen again, right? Do you move this way to get closer to this objective? Take another one to win,
Yeah.
right?
So I might as well just back off and enter and just keep shooting at you.
Okay. I was curious as to why.
So
you
we have a
move
little
forward to try and take
coaching going on here. Just working through, and like I said, this right now is all in playtesting mode, and we're all trying to work out stuff. I have paused the clock right now to let these two guys kind of go through
The only way to do that is to kill him.
and check it out.
No, that's fair.
If I go too
RNG Jesus and giveth and taketh away. So true. So true. Three minutes left in the round.
that sucks.
You're done?
Yeah.
Sprinting moment. So that's 18. I have 21.
Minus
Fuck,
2 for
I can't
every
get
inch.
there.
2
Yep.
for every fucking inch plus
Hold on.
height.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
I'm not gonna get into it like you did last time. Let's see. That's a long way.
19. If I go to there,
Trees are gonna screw you.
that is 18. So that leaves me 3.
Elevation change.
That I had 21.
So I will bring this up
To
at the
that point-
end of the game, but
To this point, at 16. So it
just
cost
going to
me
make
18.
a
You can make it.
marker
Leaves me
here.
3 inches.
No, because every
Coach.
What?
Come here. So I got 19 inches.
Damn it. Still got 5 inches.
Stupid mute. All right, so Andrew just performed a sprinting maneuver with his Goshawk 2 to get up over the hill and in the rear firing arc of the, or to get out of the firing arc of the Kingfisher.
I didn't move. So it's 3. Trees or no trees?
Trees. I saw it from here.
Yeah, you gotta come a little bit over.
Trees.
I would say roll a die myself.
Trees.
But
There's tree there. You got 2 against 1.
Trees.
Trees. Thank you.
3, 5,
Thanks for playing
6, 7, 8. 8. I gotta roll 1 more. This is 5.
Because 8s have been such a problem for you to roll with your marksman. Good Lord. Good God, man. He's got to roll 1 set of dice more? Oh.
3. Now, I don't believe that is in your rear.
Yeah, it is.
No.
No, it goes from
Not even close.
3?
After a careful review of the play on the field. Just remember, everybody, if you want to be a judge, you got to be impartial. And that is time of the round.
God damn it, it just had it! Jesus,
Okay,
dude,
ladies and gentlemen.
seriously, I did not think that it would go this long.
I
I thought for sure you were just gonna.
Look, hey.
Everyone was done firing, right?
This
Okay.
means- yeah. This means nothing. Like,
So,
the amount of dice I throw mean nothing because the movement of strategy and speed have time and that's what I'm trying to prove and maintain is that even if I take big shit, I still am
okay, everybody.
because he needs speed.
Andrew has won the game
That's
with
the
3
thing.
points to 2, as you can see,
It's okay.
at the end of time. So I just want to reiterate to everyone that you basically won the game at the beginning of the end of that turn, at the beginning of this last turn. Because even if he killed your Goshawk, he was not able to get here to take another point. So he would have won.
So no matter. So that last round,
Correct.
basically, the way he moved, I should have went over here
Sure.
and not even chanced.
Your
to have
Goshawk
a
could have.
chance.
The only thing your Goshawk dying is going to give him
PVs.
points destroyed points.
Peace of mind.
It won't give him. It won't give him the win, but his secondary tie maker score will go up.
Now, we had a conversation about during a Swiss or whatever, the PV destroyed will come in at some point
Yes.
in time.
Yeah.
Your PV destroyed is to determine a top tier Swiss bracket and bottom tier Swiss bracket. It is meant to reflect players who are doing a lot of damage and pushing them up in the Swiss brackets.
Look at how close that was to being retreated.
Um,
It was that close.
I don't talk to XL engines.
so this was actually much closer than you guys probably realized, because for one, and this was a great gameplay.
Way to frickin' dice up at the last.
Well, yeah,
Jeez.
that. But I thought it showed two different methods of thought, right?
Different strategies.
Protect, gain and protect, and go into seek and destroy.
Speed and maneuverability.
Right, speed and maneuverability versus, and I mean,
See, but my force that I brought out had a mix, right? I mean, my MBT and Vulture are hammers. You just happen to have 3 hammers, and I had 2. Right? Are we gonna do like a
Yeah, we'll do like a little
play?
little Chris Collinsworth kind of a let's talk about the game. All right, let's get
Do I need to slide over next to that?
everyone in here.
Put my arm around it.
Yeah, just to make sure you guys, still love each other and everything's okay. Okay. All right.
I was a bitch. I was like, this motherfucker's throwing 27 dice.
And he's not moving ever. He's taking forever.
So we'll just do this. Everyone can hear. Make sure I'm not muted after I just went through that whole debacle.
Go check the chat. Can you guys hear us? Check 1 2 1 2.
So I just turn it around.
You guys hear us? Sorta. Got to scream at it.
It's a
Bueller.
30-second delay, so.
All right.
Bueller.
Sounds like yep, and 1 W.
1 W.
1 forward. See, I'm up on my gamesmanship. Okay, so basically what we had here, and let's go through the forces. Let's get what you guys had, what your thought processes were. Oh my, that's Meg. Oh, that's pretty. Okay,
Nice.
all right.
Pulls out all the stops.
All right, so we're gonna do a little post-game analysis here. So let's go with Matt. Let's go with, excuse me. So you brought the 3 gnomes and the 3 hammers.
Slow
Now-
and heavy output.
But what's nice is your gnomes can all latch onto the back of your mechs, correct?
These are 3 standard engine Omni mechs that have decent structure. There's not half structure like XL
Yep.
engines do. And the gnomes are heavy hitting short to medium range.
I'm throwing 4 at short range.
So yeah.
Yeah, gnomes are a powerhouse. If you guys are looking, and especially so, and you particularly like gnomes, I've seen you've been using them quite a bit in your 350s.
Yeah,
They're not very fast.
No.
They're heavily armored, and they punch like a truck at short range. Four points of
4-2-0,
damage.
yeah.
420 is their damage output. And in a game like this, they're very, very good.
You need to have if something's going to sit on an objective, you got to have a little bit of armor.
Yep.
And it's got to be able to kick back too.
At 14 points each, they're actually,
They're about
probably
the same
one
as-
of the best things you can use for
They're
domination.
about the same as elementals, just a little bit tougher.
Yeah,
and
they're a
hit
little
harder.
tougher and hit harder, a lot harder. They give up speed, but in a game like this,
But you're using the Omni mechs for speed. Anyway.
you're taking the 2 bases. That's where your base is. I mean, this is laid out to be okay. It's a 2-2-0, 2-2 game right away in the beginning. It's the battle for here, and again, who can sneak around and sneak that last one, and then hold. If you can get 4 points, that's awesome, right? Like that ends the game, no matter what time.
My objective was
I wanted to make
3 and hold them.
right. I wanted to make the game hard. I wanted you to be able. I wanted the fluctuation of 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, and that's what happened in this game a lot. It swayed quite a bit. Your back line, which we can your offensive line, I guess is what we'll call them. Let me see your sheets here. Let's go through this. This was a combined. Let's see, 6. So there's 11. So 15 points of damage you're rolling at medium range,
They're all medium shooters. Nothing shoots long range here.
which is impressive.
Because
like that is.
It's not that long of a board.
I'll be honest. I was a bitch after the first 2 rounds. After seeing the number of dice that we're throwing, I was like, if he plays this right and just offensive lines stays together and just sweeps the board, there's nothing I can do.
And if we had a better production value right now, I would insert an instant replay of him killing your vulture in basically 1 turn.
Because
Correct.
that was the monster.
It took 1 turn to kill that.
2.
2 turns.
But 2 turns, but it basically, but he was my He was
your rock.
well. He's
other than the marksman.
He's one of the rocks, right?
Yes.
I mean,
I
have learned playing with Max. Tanks are brutal in this game.
Oh yeah.
Tanks
They don't
will
suffer from heat.
They don't suffer heat. They soak up damage, and they put out a decent amount of points as far as damage goes that you can't not have to deal with them on the table.
Yep.
And when you get two of the bastards on the table, Max runs two Manticores, and they're no joke.
Yeah.
No joke. Now, another battle armor that I do have to bring up is a Marauder battle armor. Again, Max runs those with two Plainsmen. Now, the interesting thing with the Marauder is that they're X-Mech, meaning they're magnetic clamps.
Yes.
They can go on anything.
Anything.
But it's a -2 movement while they're mounted. While on a Plainsman that runs at 18 inches, minus 2 inches is okay. I won't get halfway across the board this time.
I'll take that. Yeah.
So another really good unit. They do 3-3, 3-3-0.
Yes.
They're a good
Those
battle
Marauder
armor.
battle armor are
One
very
of
good.
the only downsides of the tanks is going to be their motive checks.
Your motive checks are really what hampers the whole thing down.
Which we didn't do on the tank. The two times that you hit him. Now that
I didn't even think you.
He hit him twice.
Okay.
We never checked motive check on him.
Matter. This is all experimental.
And this, but it brings up a good point that in a tournament setting,
gotta know your rules.
Somewhere down the line, it's a game state thing. It has to happen. It's not a may or must, or it's not a may or if or whatever.
And
it's not missed opportunity.
I know you didn't roll a natural 12. You rolled a natural 12 and then rolled a crit.
Oh yeah.
So as a player now we as a group we promote to be fair gamers, to
friendly,
be friendly,
both sides,
have a good time. In that situation, do you speak up? Because I told you the first time, right? You rolled a natural 12 and I was like, that's a crit. You did it again and I didn't say anything. Is that the right move? I mean, we are playing a tournament. I'm asking what's the right thing to do there?
There is a game state versus a missed opportunity. So in this situation, the motive is a game state. Like that vehicle got hit. That has to happen.
It doesn't have a choice.
Right. So in that case, you go up, it could be 2 turns later. That's one of those where you have to roll motive damage on it. If now, in that case, and it's a judge call, do you roll everything back? Now, is it rolling back the movement that turn from that guy? Or is it, it's judge call. So, oops, I forgot to take the motive damage. Okay, I'll roll for it as he's moving, right? You just thought of it. It didn't affect any other units, this and that. Now, if it's 2 turns later, and everyone's moved and this and that, and you're like, oops, I forgot my motive damage. Judge may come over and say, roll it, apply it to this movement, everything else is fine. It has to happen.
Something chinked later. If something got knocked loose in a track game or whatever later.
Sure.
Whatever.
You can, but it has to happen.
However.
It has to happen.
It has to happen.
A natural 12 is different. Because a natural 12 is a roll. It's upon that player to see that roll and go, set it aside. Now, it's still 12. It's still hit. But because that player didn't go through the motion, because a motive damage is a roll and then it happens. A natural crit is, okay, I roll. It could be or couldn't be kind of a thing. I know it falls into the same thing, but it's game state versus missed opportunity is what that is.
I like the way you do that.
A player saying, you could argue the way. Well, it's a natural 12. It's in the rules. I'm supposed to roll a crit. Well, okay, but that was on you. It's not on you. The motive damage is on the game state, right? That vehicle got hit hard. Should have been rolled as a whatever. Now, this is all up in the air. That's one thing we're gonna have to come up. We're gonna have to come up with judge rules for this as well, because as you can tell, a couple of moments there, it was like We had a very good and I'm so glad this showed. I'm glad you were a giant bitch.
You are giant.
Because in that instance, right there, I was called over as a judge to move to see if that movement. Well, I moved it to make sure, and then I lifted my hand, which should never happen in a judge call. Because after the turn, he goes, "Well, I didn't get to choose my facing."
It's true.
Well, came up after I moved.
Right.
Which he was right, and we moved back and let him have it.
Judges need to know that, okay, that what they need to do is they need to put that range ruler and move it and say, yes, you can make it there. Move the piece back.
Because they may change their mind.
Let the player do it. Okay. When I put it there and it's good to move the piece to actually see, maybe do it and say like, well, if it's right here, it is. But if you want to turn your facing, it's not going to work that way. So a judge can say, this is the only space that will work.
Because you'll run into that. You're
going to run into it.
Where terrain is going to be a factor with that.
Yep. And there's no clear way to get around it.
No.
You can't say, okay, you got to be within an inch of the objective. Then some player's going to go, well, I mean, where's your inch start? Where's it not?
The situation here, trying to get to the trees.
Too.
Correct.
Can you make that 21
You cannot split
inches?
movement.
No.
You just can't do it. I've read the rule book so many times that it's just not possible. I know we fudge a lot of the rules in some areas in this game, but it's more of to make it feel more like BattleTech. In that instance, I don't think there's a fudging to be had. We try to stick to the Alpha Strike Commander's book as much as possible.
I don't want to rewrite the rules. So.
I'm glad they put the variable dice rule in there for how we play with our damage.
Yes.
Because that legitimized it. But I thought this was a great game. There was a lot of things that we're going to be able to go back, look at. We had a few. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been awesome.
You don't want to go over my force?
No, you win. Screw you. Well, I went over your force in depth. I never got to his.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when I came around and did I have to up my commenting game a little bit. But,
that's fair.
And it's also really hard to commentate on the game as you're right there. Like, you need to have like the whole like me go hide in the back room kind of a thing, because there's so much strategy I wanted to go over, but not like right in front of you guys. But it played out how I wanted to, because you were ready to call it
after you 3 rounds. I was like, "Fuck, this is not."
What's
gonna
the
go.
point here?
Yeah.
And I says, you have a mech that moves 14 jump. You're gonna take that point.
He was not the star of the game. the tank was the star of the game.
And just to show you all at home, this baby is magnetized, which is awesome.
3mm?
Because
I think so.
That thing does have a
6.62
turret, and yeah, he's gonna be like, okay, that big gun's gonna go over there. So, but no, I thought your unit had this is a lot of what I would put together. You had the 2 fast movers. You had armor that was able to drop at any time.
See, now my approach to this was I'm not holding.
Correct. See, you both had 2 different mindsets in the whole.
You're gonna always be advancing out.
I'm taking these back too. The tank was back there to discourage anyone from coming over, and I used the rest of that force. He was working on trying to slide this way to pull something over here while I went and got that one and potentially this one.
He peeked over the hill and went, damn it.
He poked his head up a little too high. Thank God the black wolf armor was on him to soak up some damage, but
you missed 2 crits that way nicely.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing I like about the 350 is that you can look at his list and go, oh, I know what you're going for. You're gonna set him and hold and just pump me full of damage. So, which in case you couldn't have these guys sit back here and hold, you had to get them into the fight.
It was never my intention that they were going to hold anything. Anyway,
okay, well, yeah. But yeah, you went around, and like I said, this guy's a good piece. He was a great piece for this fight because he just sat there, and anything that popped over the hill, it was gone.
Now, here's a question: how did terrain dictate movement of approaches? Did it help you or hurt you?
I think the trees in the middle here played a huge part. That was a huge factor in
That stopped
in
us from.
in just all firing lanes. Yeah. Really, these trees really caused some angst. Now, granted, it's only 1 point.
It cut down on movement a lot too.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite make it
I didn't like this hill, which is why I went that way. Well, that and the Kingfisher was over here. I didn't want to go stand. I didn't want to go stand in front of him. But I put the lake over here with thinking that I had an overheat unit, and I didn't. So that would have been the only reason I put the water on this side.
Know your list, everyone. Know your list.
I have some overheat units, but I didn't have any in this list. So, or this 200.
I thought the terrain for this guy especially helped, because you could sit here and, I mean, he was able to get at that point before you could even shoot at it. Now, granted, once he got around it.
And he carries a nice complement of infantry and BA.
I would say for this terrain, especially helped you because you were getting the ones. But he eventually
It really helped his Kingfisher with his
back here
with his one mod
to get a TMM
partial,
1 and then a plus.
Always got the 2, so that helped a lot.
But then again, your units are kind of slow, so it did in it. That's exactly what it came down to. Kingfisher was here. He had to go get a point. He had to go capture a point, and he couldn't get that.
I don't know if you captured that or not. We stopped the clock. To have that conversation, because that was what I would have done. But
I think the game could have went 2 different ways. I mean, if you didn't roll literally
I didn't roll
10 8s in 2 rounds.
I rolled 5 8s and then 5 9s.
But hey, that's BattleTech. I mean, Matt's done it to me. I've done it to you. Now you've done it to Matt. It's full circle, baby.
Circle jerk.
But I'll quick hop on the chat, see if anybody has any questions for our contestants.
Hey, bartender, I need another drink.
You guys will just have to sit there for a little bit. Well, you can go make a drink, and we'll take questions.
You want another one?
There are 7 people watching right now, so
please.
I wonder if I can add in another audio mixer.
How's the holiday?
So with the advent of setting up some of these games,
so you don't have that.
Almost essential. You almost need a line of sight device. I mean, you can always use your own Mark 1 eyeball. However, to get down on the table side and actually see where those.
Oh my God, are you guys actually wearing matching shirts?
Yeah.
Jesus, you are.
To see where that line of sight's going to line up, you can really have a good indicator with a laser compared to your Mark 1 eyeball.
That's funny. I still have like Marksman, Dome, Kingfisher, Gossip.
Oh yeah,
all over our faces right here.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're gonna do it again.
Johnson makes a great device for that.
Oh, does it?
And then your Litco tokens are awesome.
New D6s forthcoming after tonight.
Heat gauges.
Jason Krish. New D6s forthcoming after tonight.
New D6s.
Oh, yes. For who? You? Jason is asking, is anyone buying new D6s after tonight?
I'll let them warm back up.
You know, I have a feeling. Let's take it like that. I have a feeling that, you know, in every BattleTech game, it's a wild, crazy like flow of D6 hotness.
What do you mean by D6?
Well,
hotness?
like yours were hot at the beginning. They were
Right.
cold. His were cold, went hot.
When do you start switching dice?
Ooh,
I really thought about it, guys.
That is a good question.
I
for you
really
guys
thought about it.
to answer. When do you switch D6?
Thanks.
Personally, I don't really ever switch dice. If I start playing with the dice, that's the dice I'm playing with.
I'm not a superstitious guy.
It is what it is.
No?
You're not either?
Not superstitious.
Yeah, it's random. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't go your way.
If I've had like 4 or 5 turns in a row of throwing a
Well, you got a whole lot of dice there. I got 5 pairs.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of options.
So, no, I don't really switch dice.
Sometimes they change. You never know. Sun shines on a dog's ass once in a while.
Something, right?
Hmm.
Well,
I knew that
freaking co-host guy ran
I knew
away,
that,
man.
I knew that Mad Dog was going to have some kind of magic armor.
He was crit resistant, so
I knew
resistant.
I knew your fast hover tanks with your BA in tow and your large mech were going to be the biggest problem, and I had to deal with that big mech first, and that drew away from your hover tank and battle armor. Because your hover tank and your battle armor survived pretty good until
I
the
got
battle
up here.
armor started getting hit. Yeah. But changing targets really helps too. You know, like some people don't ever want to focus fire. It's like just go ahead.
Oh,
and
this
gang
game
up.
you have to. This game is all
You
about.
have to gang
It's
up.
all about this one, then this one, then this one, and like you said, you have to try and make an assessment of
Knowing your threat priority.
which ones are going to be the big issues and which one aren't. I got 1 dice that I'm missing. What the hell is it?
This one?
There it is. Thank you. Made my brick, you guys. Oh, you can see that? There you go. My movement dice of brick. Anyway, no, I'm finding that, there's some gems that are out there that you got to try and find, and this unit that I have built is really based off of the HeroClix Gamma Regiment pack. The Scourge came out a couple weeks ago, and that was the last mech that I needed to be able to build that unit. And when I started collecting the units, I was like, damn, this looks like a pretty fun 350. And I was able to throw in a Vulture Mark IV and a Mad Cat Mark IV and round it out. They're both they're glass cannons. They throw a lot of dice, but they go boom fast.
See, I can't stand that. I want something that's gonna last. I don't like having like half the amount of structure because of an extra light or a double XL.
But I get my speed, and that's my ticket right now outside. And I say this but the battle tank only has 1. But I really strive to have at least a 2 TMM on any unit.
Okay, we have a new question from Drew Bethers.
Drew, what's up, buddy?
Captain Drew Bethers.
Captain.
Here's the captain. Captain, my captain.
Captain.
He's asking, is it better to go with a lower skill or have more units? Which is probably one of the quintessential questions in the 350 format.
I'm for more units. I think I always go for more units because, one, there's more opportunity. I think movement and position in this game, especially with it going to objective base, I really think that is the more important piece to me. Maybe I'm way off the way I play. I mean, I started playing as Zeta, right? And
you like your big stuff.
And
costs a lot.
And exactly the way Matt plays. But I also found that I have an affinity for really small, fast stuff. And I'm trying to blend that. All of the stuff that I put together, I'm really trying to have a blend of speed and hammers. And it's hard to put together in Alpha Strike, I think. Especially when you have I got to have a 2 TMM, and I want to try and get, +4 dice or higher at medium range, and looking for IF and what's the right battle armor to take. That to me, the battle armor is the hardest thing to come up with.
Yes.
Trying to find the right battle armor to fit and cover the gamut. And personally, I still think Elemental is by far the best battle armor to take.
Would you
point
say,
wise and armor damage output?
And I'm going to do a little tangent here. Would you say that once you find a good battle armor that you like, it's really hard to move off of it?
It is.
For me, it is as well. Because I run Thunderbird armor.
I keep going back to elementals, and I'm forcing myself. This unit had these battle armor units in it, so I took them, and I've run Cage before.
Kage.
Kage. Learn something tonight.
Oh, there's a new thing.
Kage.
Jason, you just introduced a new, yelling at Gen Con cheers.
So Kage.
Anybody says Cage, you just yell out Kage.
I've been running those a lot. Just from the standpoint of the Dest.
Sure.
You have the Dest Kage suits, and again, with this being 350 and being objective based, it in my head I can't get past these are the quintessential building infiltrators. Go get and extract a high value target and get them out. So that's where I'm always trying to look at fiction and how does these things fit and how do we get that into the game. So my units try and reflect a lot of that.
Well, and I know you're on Gnomes and I'm on Thunderbird. I can't get off. It just does what I want to do, does what you want to do. It's tough to get away from it. But I think it's okay, though. If it fits your play style, run with it.
If it fits your play style, absolutely.
And here's the thing. You're supposed to have the pieces of the puzzle that go with the composition. So if you have 50 gnomes sitting around, it's pretty hard to be like, I should really switch and get rid of all my gnomes.
I think that's a problem of buying 50 gnomes.
Hey, I tell you what though, you can buy
hex,
you can buy individual battle armor. I mean, these were
true.
I think these Black Wolves were 65 cents a piece or something like
really
that.
Tight, though.
They look really nice.
And hey, by the way, which is pointed out from the Indiana Alpha Strike.
Shout out Indiana Alpha Strike Group.
If you need to pick up cheaper Iron Winds,
go
to Mecca.
Don't tell them the secret.
Go to Iron Winds because I think you don't pay for the blister. You pay for the weight.
It's literally a candy shop. You just take the bowl. I want this.
You go trick or treating at Iron Winds, you're gonna come out smelling like
you put the bowl on the scale and they charge you for the weight.
So
shout out to Iron Winds.
Yeah. Thank you very much for doing what you guys do and taking the time to do it right. They've got some great units that have come out. They've really stepped up. In my opinion, they've really stepped up the miniatures and detail, which is something this game needs.
But to go back to the original question, myself, I've found a very sweet spot, where Inner Sphere old mechs can still do a considerable amount of damage.
I really think the 30-25 mechs are the sweet spot.
And they're cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap. They have good armor. They hit hard. They hit medium. Yeah. They're not hard-hitting units.
Right.
But they do enough.
They're slower and they hit less.
They're slow.
They'll stay there.
Correct.
They'll stay there.
And they're the units you can get a pilot skill 2 for 55 points. That's always for me, that's my cut. 55 is a good spot to hit.
So, do you have a construction rule kind of that you've been playing with? Because I do.
It's a huge set of variables. I don't want glass cannons. I don't want glass cannons. I want mechs that are going to stay on the board and have moderate speeds that can carry battle armor. I want to be mobile with battle armor with all my different assets because I don't want to leave them hanging and dragging
Right.
if I can't move them. So everything has to carry battle armor. Whether your vehicle has IT,
That's a good point.
or whether your Omni-Mech can hang it, or whether it's X and it can actually hang on by magnets, it's got to be able to get these guys because these are going to be the support points that you need to stay on task.
And I will tell you, if you go on wolfstragoons.com or if you join the WolfNet Facebook group and you read the actual full rules, you will see where infantry are very, very useful. Like almost a mainstay.
Well,
Like you have to have at least some sort of infantry.
I mean, the whole reason for doing the 350 was to get combined arms play going, and we continually talk about our ultimate game, and ultimate game for us was centered around that infantry unit in the building doing the extraction.
Yep.
And I think that kind of bled into this and what we were trying to accomplish.
And then this expounded on.
Yeah. So for me, I've gone about I need a solid 150 points. I will have 3 mechs, maybe 4 mechs that I can switch in and out, but I get 150 points, maybe 130 points, and then the rest is what I tailor for the mission.
Okay.
So I will almost always bring. These are at least 2 mechs that you will have on the table all the time because I'm comfortable with them. I know what I can get out of them.
They work.
I know what to do with them, and then the rest of it is tailored to the mission or possibly what I'm going against.
I like that. And to piggyback that, my philosophy is pair them off. You got a vehicle or a mech, whether it be VTOL or hovercraft or tank. Put a piece of infantry with it. Take another mech, infantry or vehicle or VTOL. Put another piece of infantry with it. I want them in pairs.
See, and I don't go that far. I try and have 2, maybe 3 pieces of battle armor, and then two dedicated transport, be it a hover tank or a helo. Now, the interesting thing with the Hephaestus is it's an Omni.
Yeah.
So I have an IT-5 and it's Omni, so I could technically carry both battle armor points on that unit.
Sure.
Now, I will give this little hint to everyone. There is, in programming world, there is the concept of the coin challenge. The coin challenge is writing a program to say, I have these amount of coins. How many coins can I use to get to $2?
Okay.
So, for instance, I have created a little page, a little worksheet that has the point value of all of my units, and I run it through the coin challenge, and it gives me the different ways to combine the units that I have to 200 points. So when I get down to say, all right, we're going to do domination, I went down and I looked, I need some fast stuff. So I looked for Goshawk and Hephaestus, and I went across and looked at where I had those 2 in all of the combinations, and then went, what are the things that go with them?
So what else goes there?
You're building you're building a.
I feel like you should do a little more work with that, and
I would really
plug that into the master unit list.
I would really like to be able to actually put this up on wolfstragoons.com as I put in my unit and hit go and kick out this exact same thing. I'm trying to use that as a way to teach myself Python, and I need to start working on it because this has helped me a lot.
Sure.
It has helped my son. My son's 13. We've played now 3 or 4 times. He goes to this sheet, figures out what units he wants to play. And
you're building a matrix to format the consolidation of it.
Because I have my list and the point values, and I said, through Coin Challenge, I said, give me all of the combinations of these numbers to 200.
Well, and what's nice about it is because as the BattleTech, it's not taking your knowledge of BattleTech out of the game because what do I need for this challenge?
Oh, absolutely.
What do I need for that challenge?
It just puts the group together, and then I can look at that group individually and say, this is a good one for domination. This is a good one for bunkers. This is a straight up.
You're playing Rampage.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's stand-up fight, yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Done.
Exactly.
You basically look at the number of objectives you need to accomplish.
I gotcha.
And if, say, I need at least 3
So,
of those or
and
4.
you're going to play Rampage. Okay, I got my BA there, BA there, BA there. So, how many? Okay, I see what you're looking at here. All right, I got it. This is really nice.
And I've been using this a lot to try and, when I get a list together, I'll put it together, see what the combinations look like, and go, that fits me and that fits
Play style is a lot.
that fits my play style of how I would approach.
What I love about the 350 is your play style can come through. It's just sometimes you got to be like, okay, I have to play a little different.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but I can still my 350 is still within my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm a medium scout, like, okay, all right, I have 350 points to play with. But like, stand up fight, all right, I have all mediums. Like, I'm gonna throw 8 mechs at the 4.
You know, my stand up fight right now is a Scourge, Vulture, Mad Cat, Goshawk. I'll take all 4 mechs, put them out. That's 200 points on the button.
I would probably put him in there. Maybe see where he fits.
Well, let me see. Marksman is 40.
If you're gonna keep throwing the freaking,
I could swap that thing out for the Scourge. I mean, I'd be 3 points less.
And you'd have a 3-point bid, yeah. No, I think that's awesome. But yeah, for me, I don't necessarily look for my battle armor. I want my battle armor on 1 transport to move them wherever I can,
And that's what I mean. My Hephaestus, the Wnrp, and then I have the Vulture and Mad Cat, which are omnis. So I have 4 possibilities to carry my battle armor. They're all mechanized. I can do that with my mechs.
And I'll tell you right now, like, you guys are heavy on the omnis, which is good. I mean,
I have 2 in my whole force.
Well, I mean, but I'm assuming you took omnis to have the ability to move your
Absolutely.
armor. I don't look at it that way. I make mine a little different. I just have 3 Thunderbirds in my list.
Can't have 3 Thunderbirds in your list.
Or sorry, I have 2 Thunderbirds in my list. Good call.
Oh,
Good
he's
call.
got 3 gnomes on there, though.
No.
Are they different variants?
No, you can have 5 infantry.
They can only be 2 of the same. You can only have 2 elemental lasers. You could have 2 more elemental machine guns.
Good call.
But you cannot have 3 of the same.
Battle
armor follows the same as vehicles.
One can be a micro pulse laser.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can have 3 gnomes, but 2, they have to be different. Yep. 2, and then the other one has
Armies
to be different.
cannot have more than 5 of each type listed: battle armor or infantry.
Hold on, it's got to say in here that only 2 of each.
It's proto mechs and battle mechs and vehicles. We left infantry wide open.
Nope.
Or did we?
Nope.
Oh, did we?
All other combat units, proto infantry, battle armor may only have 2 of the same chassis that have the same variant. Right. I even use elementals.
There you go.
As the
gotcha. All right.
Example.
So
it's in the rules.
If I take like 4, you can do like 2 of standard laser, 2 of micro pulse.
Correct.
Yes.
As long as it's slightly different.
The points are about the same.
They work out the same.
Yeah.
Right, but again, that is in there though, so that a guy doesn't take 5 Savannah Masters.
Or bring the cheese.
Dale. He's not listening, but Dale's promised to bring cheese already. So
let's see. Let's give a shout out to the
conventional infantry. What Drew asking about? Conventional infantry.
Itinerant hobbyist.
I don't know what that is.
Would you take conventional infantry?
I have looked at it. I have desk infantry I've used, and then there's heavy jump infantry that I've looked at.
Did you ask for the conventional? Drew asked, "What about conventional infantry?"
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
I have. I've used heavy jump and I've used desk. Again, lore wise and
Tommy
being a dragoon, I gotta have jump infantry.
Big on it, but because Tommy's big on it is the tag.
But tag doesn't get you anything.
It does.
No, it does not.
There's his example right there.
It does not get you anything. Tag does not do anything for you.
Unless you're calling in an airstrike.
If you're calling in Arrow 4, it does. It does not get you any increases on LRMs.
No, there is.
We've talked about this already.
There is something that he found out that it does work.
Oh, he's got to show it to me then. 'Cause we spent a day on this and I didn't find anything.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. We spent days.
Oh,
Days.
no,
on
I know
these
what it was.
things.
It was
So it's not always
the
that much
the
fun.
hole or the digging in.
Oh,
Trench.
dig in. Yeah, you can dig in and get
You
and
put them on a
fortify.
hill.
You can fortify.
You're
which they
spending
get-
11 points, and you can have
Spotter.
however many.
Then you're using
Spotter.
as a spotter,
That's what it was.
not tag. As a
Spotter.
spotter. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. That's the
He
other
was
reason.
going for the indirect fire. That's
Yeah.
what he was
And then it's a
correct.
Isn't it a modifier?
But
for
that's
hitting too?
but
When it's
I have
dug in?
taken that into consideration because if you look at what's on here
The LRM carrier.
now,
Yes.
and what else do you think is on here?
The stealth
Kage!
armor.
Kage.
Kage! Damn it! Kage.
Drink.
So what I do with the plan is with those is if that's paired with the LRM, they sit in the trees,
Oh.
right? Because without movement, it's a +3 to hit them,
-1 for.
and
Try
that doesn't matter for spotting. But if I find a hill,
One
and
for
sit,
BA, one for
if they sit them in trees,
yes, one for BA, one for trees, and one for stealth.
exactly. So it's a 3, and I didn't move. So
More
stealth
way to
becomes
say it,
extremely important in
And then-
my mind
And
when
an
it comes
LRM
to
carrier is a lot of fun.
and throwing 6 dice is
It's a lot of fun.
as indirect fire.
A
Yes,
lot of
it is.
But
No.
yes, that is a major point for using just regular conventional infantry. They're super cheap. They can dig in or hide behind downed mechs as well.
So
you can
another
drop a
tidbit
lot
that
of
I found today. I was reading the movement rules today. Did you know that infantry do not pay an extra inch of move to go through trees?
I did not know that
Infantry do not pay
because
the
they're trees
And
they
they're
are
your
this
little
big.
I can run through the trees and not hit them. That was a little tidbit that I found today and went, ooh, that could be important.
BA as well.
Battle armor
Elevation
and
change, but not trees.
Now
yes,
this is very
elevation
interesting.
change a +4.
This is also very interesting because neither of you knew how domination went. Neither of you have played domination.
This is
before,
my
have you?
first time playing it.
I think I played it once.
You might have played
one
it
time
once.
against.
Who put the tree on the hill? You did, didn't you? Okay, so you did not know that there was an objective point that was going to go in that trees.
I knew there was one going there
Oh,
because
you
I've
did.
read the
Okay.
rules
All
and
right.
know there was going there,
Okay.
but
It's a clever way to have the
that played
terrain.
a huge part of the game.
Here.
Yes, it did.
That stopped me from getting that point most of the time for movement.
But what I do like is we're setting terrain, or you're picking your force, then you set terrain
And moving
instead of
your
vice versa. So I don't want you to be able to
Tailor your force
tailor your force to
to
the
the
terrain.
terrain. Yep.
We've toyed with that a lot lately, and I've really
We have.
tried. I really tried to experiment with that. Where
Now,
can you break it? Yes, you can by
Sure.
using all the terrain. But we've added that.
But-
it has
and-
to be a certain distance away from each other.
I think I'm leaning forward more and more to the place a piece of terrain, right?
Yeah.
Now,
I know
now again, reading in there, it was
it is.
the loser sets terrain, winner picks home edge. So loser, when you do the initiative roll, the loser sets all of the terrain pieces, be it 6, whatever it is.
Sure.
The winner picks home edge.
What would you go with? Because the winner of initiative will place the last piece.
I haven't done it enough
Right.
to get a sense. Right now, I kind of like the idea of one guy setting the terrain,
Mm-hmm.
but normally,
They could really screw
when
themselves.
exactly when you go into it, normally the defender is the one that's setting and picking.
Correct.
I am going to choose to engage my opponent on this terrain.
There is no.
So they set it,
Yeah.
right? In this scenario, we don't have really an attacker and defender scenario.
No, you have to make it.
So I think I think for the time being, now that I'm talking my way through this, I think for the time being,
It's therapy
I
for
think you have to leave it the way it is right now because people aren't going to understand the scenarios 100%. That where if a person is set to say, I'm going to set all of the terrain and then forget that the guy gets to pick home edge and totally fucks himself.
Exactly.
I don't. That's no fun. That's not people having a good time.
Just the main thing
This
we want
is-
fun.
And this is a play on X-Men, which I like.
It is.
I like. So I'm not against this. I just think that would be an interesting dynamic of
Sure.
one person setting up all of the terrain, and then a guy picking home edge. That keeps a guy honest, but as in a big setting and people showing up to play and never done it before.
And the one thing is switching table sides.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Like
that's
you set
a
a
lot of
table and
effort.
like, okay, I have an entire table.
That's
That's
a lot of-
44 people.
That's a lot of effort.
Okay, everybody, get up and do-si-do,
That's
kind
effort.
of thing. So this is an easy way, and to let everyone know, if you haven't listened to the podcast or haven't kept up with us, we're trying to turn this into what could be a large-scale competitive tournament.
We're doing one at Gen Con
We
this
will,
year.
yeah, we'll be at Gen Con.
I've put that out. I've got guys that are committed that are coming already. I'm going to find open tables Thursday night because we had no problems getting tables
Oh yeah.
Thursday night.
We could have
Thursday
got
night.
a lot
So
more.
wide
We
open.
could have gotten a lot more.
We're gonna have 15 tables
So
there.
we're going to do an event, and it's not going to cost anybody anything because it's
Nope.
going to be a dry run. I will have prizes. We will have prizes.
Yep.
But I think this is the year to give it a go.
Ooh, how many?
And it could turn into a worldwide event.
I would hope so, man. I hope so.
Anybody can show up with a 350.
How many we got yet?
play.
We've got 5 people watching. All
5
right.
people watching. Oh, promotions.
Okay, we're gonna do a promotion. This is not for tonight. I know we said we may be giving away prizes, but this is a game of Armored Combat that we're set up for January for the bet.
I'm hoping we can get it done.
Okay.
The first game in January, yeah.
So we're going to be taking some collections, some stuff. We are going to be doing, if you don't know, the Iowa group, the good guys,
with Tommy.
versus the Minnesota group, the bad guys,
Rorschach.
And a third
Rorschach.
and the third.
to be announced.
He will just be known as the third.
He might be my boy. He's been killing it.
Then he has his first call sign. Third. The wheel.
The
We'll just
wheel.
call him the wheels.
the wheel.
So we're going to be doing a full-fledged. I think you are 8K.
It doesn't
We're
matter.
it doesn't matter. Okay.
We're doing 8K battle. One. We're doing 350 battle.
350 round robin.
We're doing a full round robin.
We'll do a full round robin.
Are we gonna do a full round robin for 8K then too?
Well, no, because the 8K is going to take us 3 hours.
Well,
3 games of 350 is going to take us.
It shouldn't
No,
take 3 hours. 8K is
about an
only
hour.
4 mechs.
about an hour.
It should take
Well,
an hour.
yeah.
We're making the trip. We should probably just do a full day,
Well,
right?
we'll do other stuff.
There's no reason not to.
And there's only 3 games.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a
Yeah.
full round robin. All right.
All right.
Anyway, we're gonna take.
Talked our way into that one.
We're gonna get a bunch of stuff, and we are going to basically the idea is we're gonna play an 8K up in Minnesota or a 350 in Minnesota, and then an 8K in Iowa. We'll stream all of it.
Well, we'll stream as much as we can. We'll stream a game. We're
We'll
not going to
stream.
stream
Well, yes,
all
we'll
3
stream.
games, but
We're not Gold Squadron if you guys know that, but we'll stream one game. I've already got some ideas
Hey.
for some guest.
I
Commentators.
I could scare up a couple more webcams. Well, again, it's
Well,
only
it
3
takes
games.
more
so.
than that. It takes more than just 3.
I understand.
Anyway, we're gonna have a bunch of prizes to give away. We'll give away, hopefully, by the time the 350 rolls around, we'll have some Clan Invasion boxes to give away. But we'll have some Game of Armored Combat, some beginner starters. We'll give away some individual mechs. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a good time. Might have some 3D printed mechs to give away, some truck tokens, some
I don't have
all kinds of stuff.
We're not doing any 3D printed mechs.
Okay, we're not doing 3D printed.
We're not getting into that.
We'll do actual Catalyst products,
Please, I would prefer to
map
do that.
sets, and the whole bunch.
Yep.
So, but stay tuned because I think January, mid-January, we're going to do the first
First game.
one.
Yep.
You nervous?
Nope.
You should be.
I'm not. I got 0 issues. I got the Rorschach.
Oh, you have the Rorschach. That's 1 win. You need more than 1 win.
So you got a bunch of toss tables and unhappy people.
Can't wait for the wheel. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you,
Wolfpack
guys.
Radio
Hey,
Podcast. Good night.
hey,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. And again, I want to say thank you to everyone Thanks for making the group what it is. It has gone beyond anything that I ever thought it would be. And I'll be honest with you, these two guys brought me kicking and screaming to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And now,
What are we going to talk about?
I still can't believe people want to listen to what the hell we have to
We're
say.
going to sit there for like 5 minutes.
Thank you guys. Happy holidays. Best to you and your families. And we'll see you again soon.
Please spay and neuter your pets.
Kage!